everyone, my name's Cheyenne, and today I'm going to talk about why I feel like we should treat customers the way they treat us. Have you ever had a time where you worked with a customer and they were so rude to you and so mean? Even though it's not your fault and it wasn't your mistake, it was maybe their mistake, but for some reason you're getting the blunt end of it? Well, we all have. And this old saying, the customer's always right, that's outdated and we should no longer use that. We need to throw it out the window. And there's a few reasons why I think employees should be able to treat customers the way they are treated. So I'm going to start telling you guys the reasons behind that. The customer may not realize that how they're talking to the staff. I've had a few times, as I'm sure all of you guys have, where a customer is like saying something super rude, and then all of a sudden they take a step back and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I know it's not your fault." So at least I know that sometimes they then recognize it in the moment how they're talking, and they apologize. It doesn't stop the fact that they were being rude, but at least I know sometimes they just need that reminder. So I feel like if we talk back to them how they talk to us, they may be like, "Wow, I'm being rude right now. Let me, take a step back and breathe." Sometimes you just have to tell them to lower the voice. When you get agitated, you start talking and you get really riled up, and then you're just really loud. Maybe if we can just be like, "Hey, you need to lower your voice," or if we have to start raising our voice to be heard over them, then maybe they'll be like, "Oh, I'm getting yelled at because I'm yelling at them. Let me quiet down." And as from an article from the American Psychology Associates, a study of staff from 2011 showed that half reported dealing with rude customers at least once a week, while in 1998 those numbers were a quarter less. Teaching. A second reason why I think we should be able to talk to customers the way they talk to us is that we need to teach them that they can't get what they want by being rude. If we give them what they want after they're rude to us, we're just reinforcing that kind of behavior. Just like we do with children, we nip it in the bud when they're little so that they learn to grow as functioning adults. And I feel like sometimes when people have been an adult for a while, they need a little reminder in that. And they also think that employees can't really do anything back, which sometimes it's true. So then they feel empowered to continue acting like that because they know there's no one to stand up for themselves against them. In my current job, my boss says not to take any of their attitude personally and to just brush it off. And she says, you don't know what their day is having. They could be having a bad day. And while I get that and I understand that, I don't think someone else's bad day should make my day bad. You can't control what happens to you in your life, but you can control how you speak and how you react and talk to other people. So I don't think that's an excuse. Just because you had a bad day, maybe you spilled your coffee on yourself this morning, doesn't mean you need to come into my business of work and yell at me because you came in on the wrong day for your appointment, which has nothing to do with me. Get a calendar. It just becomes a cycle because then I get yelled at, and then, not me because I can control my emotions, but some people, they get yelled at, and then they go to go out to dinner, and now they're yelling at the server because now they also had a bad day. So we really just need to stop it at the beginning of the cycle so it doesn't, complete. Also, it just makes a better work environment for staff. Have you ever left a job because of the clientele you had to deal with? And even if you haven't, you may have left a job and been relieved that you don't have to deal with those kind of customers anyway. Everyone should be able to work in a safe environment away from irate customers. As you've probably seen on the news, we have a shortage of staff in fast food places. And I'm going to show you a video of exactly why we are short-staffed in all these different restaurants because of how people treat the employees.
crazy.
So as you see in that video, the probably 16 to 18 staff member, a patient or a customer's order is wrong, so she felt the need to take her soda and throw it at the employee. So it's like, of course we're short-staffed because stuff like this is allowed to be taken place, and now these people feel entitled to act like this and get what they want, and so it's like, yeah, like we're short-staffed. People aren't gonna, like, there's always this thing, oh, no one wants to work anymore. But I don't think it's that. I just don't think people want to work in an abusive situation. And I think that's where that situation comes from. So, to bring my speech to an end, these are all the reasons why I think, as staff members and across all jobs, we should be able to treat customers the way that they treat us. We need to give employees the opportunity to not feel so walked on, and hopefully teach customers that they can act aggressively and get what they want. If we implement this new way of thinking, I think that customer service and customer staff relation and work environments will move in a more positive direction. Thank you for listening to my speech.